Part 89. My evil Imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world, BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 881. Lum Wan hugged Ming Xiu back, although the other party was only in a state of soul, but the two hearts were close to each other. Drops of tears fell from the corners of her eyes, wetting Ming Xiu's heart. Yaner Ming Xiu let go of her, reached out and wiped away the tears from the corners of her eyes with the power of his soul. His voice was soft and hoarse. It was the first time he saw Lum Wan cry, and her tears made him feel distressed. Lum Wan sniffed and smiled, "I'm just happy." From the extraterritorial battlefield to now, Ming Xiu has been in a deep sleep state. Her heart has never relaxed for a moment. She is afraid that Ming Xiu will not be able to wake up. He has already penetrated into her bone marrow, and he can't be stripped. She can't lose him, otherwise her world will be bleak. Now that Ming Xiu appeared alive in front of her, she couldn't help crying. One was to vent her recent depression, and the other was to cry with joy. Ming Xiu lowered his head and kissed the corner of her eye. "Yaner, it's great to see you again." "Me too." Lum Wan adjusted her emotions and stopped the tears that kept pouring out. She took out the god-level spirits that had been used in the outer battlefield to reshape her body from the space ring. You reshape your body first. Meditation is in the state of soul. They can hug each other, but there is still a difference. She wants to hug the fresh him tightly. "Okay," Ming Xiu took the spirit and chuckled, "then Yaner will protect me." At this time, he really wanted to rub his lover into the blood and kiss deeply, but it was difficult to do it in a state of soul. Therefore, he is also eager to rebuild his body. And Lum Wan conveyed Jun Luokan's experience of reshaping his body to Ming Xiu, walked to the side and rearranged a formation, then sat outside to guard. Ming Xiu took the spiritual things to fuse and shape them a little bit. The hourglass of time fell little by little. Ming Xiu reshaped his body, and Lum Wan sat quietly outside the formation to accompany him. Quiet and warm, as long as they have each other, they are the greatest happiness. 10 days later, Ming Xiu's body was reshaped by himself, and he also used several god-level spirits to refine and wash his new body. Lum Wan recited a gentle meditation mantra in his mouth, and his mind was always in an ethereal state. When the time came, his soul turned into a white light and penetrated into his body. It takes time for the soul and the body to merge, and he needs to adjust the fit to a perfect state. Experienced death, body fall, and extreme sleep, it is not that there is no benefit to meditation. His spiritual power has more than doubled, and his understanding of the attributes of each element has reached a new level. With the fusion of his soul and body, his cultivation is also constantly rising. Finally, he gradually stopped when he was half-step to immortal. As long as the opportunity came, he would be able to soar and break through to immortal cultivation. Therefore, all things have advantages and disadvantages, blessings and misfortunes lie in them, and misfortunes and blessings rely on them. The perfect fusion of soul and body takes longer than reshaping the body. 49 days later, Ming Xiu, who was floating in mid-air, slowly opened his eyes. The next moment, he was already standing in front of Lum Wan. As soon as Lum Wan opened his eyes, he met those eyes that were as deep as the sea, with deep affection. Yaner Ming Xiu's voice was sexy and magnetic, as if to settle people. Lum Wan raised an arc on his lips, with a smile on his brows. "We will never be separated again." "Okay, we'll never be apart again." Ming Xiu sat on the ground, hugged Lum Wan to his lap, and couldn't hold back any longer and kissed the tender and attractive lips. He kissed her gently, tossing and turning, with cherishing and love from the bottom of his heart. She is the baby of his life, he takes care of him and loves her deeply. Lum Wan closed her eyes and felt Ming Xiu's love with her heart. She put her arms around his neck and responded slowly. In the end, the kiss without passion/lust gradually burned, and Ming Xiu pried open Lum Wan's lips. enjoying her sweet fragrance. Lu Muan was not shy, and responded enthusiastically and violently. This kind of invitation made Ming Xiu's whole body numb, and he only wanted more. His slender, white fingers gently undid the belt of her shirt, and his lips moved down a little bit. Her delicate collarbone was undoubtedly revealed when the clothes slipped, and her beautiful face was charming with a rare charm. Ming Xiu only felt that her whole body was about to be set on fire by her. He breathed erratically, and couldn't help but kiss the red lips that were madly mist. The two red shadows were intertwined, and Lu Muan's clothes were mostly taken off, and she enthusiastically responded to the scorching heat of meditation. At this moment, she didn't mind them being one. Ming Xiu's warm and sexy thin lips fell and extended from her cochlea, and her butterfly-like collarbone bloomed with the bright red marks he left. The heat continued to rise in the uninhabited dense ground, intertwined with rough/gasp and moan/groan. Lu Muan hugged Ming Xiu and lay in his arms, overflowing with enthusiasm. Ming Xiu's eyes were full of sparks and scorching heat. In the end, reason prevailed. He took a deep breath and raised his head. Lu Muan opened her eyes, her beautiful eyes filled with lust, charming and seductive, just like the manzushawa blooming on the other side of hell, making people unable to help sink. Yaner Ming Xiu's voice was hoarse and blurred, with a hint of intoxication. I do. Lu Muan looked at Ming Xiu with hazy eyes, and his fingertips slid across his angular handsome face. Ming Xiu looked at the misty eyes of Mu Yan, who went upstairs, and the blood in his whole body felt like it was about to boil. Yaner, I want to give you the best first time. Ming Xiu suppressed the heat in his abdomen and the urge to rub the baby in his arms into his body. It's lonely and desolate here. He doesn't want to blend in with his lover in such an environment. He wants to give her the best. He lowered his head and kissed her between the eyebrows and eyes, and pulled her clothes that had already taken off most of them closer. Yaner, let's get married after the AU business is done. Okay. Lu Muan's voice carried a warmth that had not yet dissipated, and her eyes were full of warmth and affection. Ming Xiu will always put her first, love her, pamper her, and care for her. How can she not love such a man? If Ming Xiu wanted her here, she would accept it willingly, because she also longed for him. But he knew that meditation would give her the best, so he wouldn't ask her here. She doesn't want to be separated from him anymore, and becoming a husband and wife is also what she thinks in her heart. Ming Xiu adjusted his chaotic breathing, and the fire in his eyes gradually subsided. He hugged Lu Muan tightly in his arms, buried his head in her neck, smelled the faint medicinal fragrance that belonged to her, and felt just her body temperature. He didn't dare to continue kissing, otherwise he was really afraid that he couldn't control asking her in such a place. Lu Muan chuckled and hugged Ming Xiu tightly. They haven't hugged and kissed so quietly for a long time. Such a moment is beautiful and peaceful, lingering, with a hint of sweetness in the air. A word suddenly popped into Lu Muan's mind: just want to grow old with you. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world. BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 882. In a gorgeous palace of the Tianpeng royal family, Lu Muan and King Jinpeng were sitting and drinking. King Jinpeng had been chanting sutras and practicing in the Buddhist building before, mainly because his son and daughter-in-law died, and the whereabouts of his only grandson were unknown. After recognizing Qi, the string in my heart was immediately broken. How could the past be as important as grandson? So he left the pagoda and returned to the palace of the Tianpeng tribe to teach Qi and let his grandson inherit the throne in the future. Miss Lu went to the nine-tailed fox clan this time to get a good harvest. King Jinpeng looked at Ming Xiu Dao sitting next to Lu Muan with a half-smiling smile. The death of Ming Xiu in the extraterritorial battlefield for the sake of righteousness left an indelible impression on the people of the four major clans in the entire Tianling continent, and he felt deeply at that time. Unexpectedly, this person appeared in the Tianpeng clan in a blink of an eye. He guessed that Lum Wan and others should go to the Fox clan to find some kind of treasure for Ming to repair. The news he received recently said that the Fox clan had dispatched an elite force to search for mysterious people everywhere, and even alerted the personal guards that the Fox King secretly cultivated. Such a big movement can only show that the things that the Fox clan stole are too expensive, but he is very comfortable, and he can't wait for the Fox clan to lose any more. At that time, he could conclude that more than 50% of the matter of his son and daughter-in-law might have been done by the Fox clan Demon Chiu, and this great revenge will be avenged one day. Lum Wan chuckled lightly, well, this time I went to the Fox clan to get a good harvest, and I also discovered two big secrets. King Jinpeng's turbid eyes showed a strange brilliance, and he asked with a smile, I don't know what the secret is. Is it related to our demon domain? Since Lum Wan brought up these two secrets in front of him, he should be ready to tell them. It's not just about the demon realm, but also the demon realm, the sea, and the human realm. The smile on Lum Wan's face subsided a little, and he was serious. King Jinpeng suddenly thought of the most unwilling possibility. He frowned and said, they won't only attack the demon domain, but also want to invade other domains. Yes, they have two secret places in the palace of the Fox clan. Lum Wan paused and said, in a secret place, there are all the corpses of the demon cultivators in the fusion realm of the various races in the demon domain. They have studied for hundreds of years to explore their weak points. The demon cultivators of the Tianpeng clan also among them. A secret place is full of yin pawns, and has cultivated a large number of ghost beasts traded from the demon race, and the number of ghost beasts who heard the news of the fusion realm is not small. In the conversation between the ghost beast and the steward that day, she did not ignore that the ghost beasts who were promoted to the fusion realm would move their places alone, indicating that there would definitely be no shortage of ghost beasts who were promoted to the fusion realm. What? Jinpeng's complexion changed after hearing these two news. They dare to do this, really? His tone was exasperated, and the secret in the first secret place seriously touched his bottom line. Each of the demonic beast races in the demonic realm does have its weak points, and if they fight against it, they will definitely suffer. He never imagined that the Fox clan would have such wolf ambitions, and that things that could arouse the indignation of the demon clan could be done. The Fox clan colluded with the demon clan, and they will attack the sea area and the human realm in 2 years, so I suspect that they will fight the demon realm again in the near future. Lum Wan expressed her doubts. King Jinpeng was silent for a moment, then sighed, I also received some news about this matter. The Fox clan and the other two demon clans have been acting secretly recently. I guess they may be doing something to the demon domain, but I never imagined that their ambitions would be so big. Then King Jinpeng, do you have any ideas or preparations? Lum Wan thought about it and asked. I have secretly contacted the two demon kings that I have made friends with. If the Fox clan wants to take action against the entire demon domain, we will not let them handle it. King Jinpeng said cautiously, but before, I just guessed that they would do everything, but I didn't know that they still have such wolf ambitions. He looked at Lum Wan with some embarrassment and asked, I wonder if the two secrets Lum Wan said can be passed on to other clans. Naturally, such a thing is not something that the Tianpeng clan can afford with the power of a clan. Yes, I also think that the ambitions of the Fox clan should be known to the major clans in the demon realm, but they can only act in secret and not publicize them. Lum Wan said, after all, it's only us who discovered the secret land, and the other demon clan may not believe it. It would be bad to be used by the Fox clan to make a fuss about it. What Miss Lu said is that I will contact the two demon kings that I have made friends with to discuss countermeasures, King Jinpeng said. After chatting for a while, Lum Wan and the others left the palace. When only King Jinpeng was left in the palace, a shadow appeared behind him. Are they believable? The black shadow said hoarsely. There is no need for them to lie to us, and this king has also heard about the disappearance of fusion realm demon cultivators from other clans, and I don't know if the weakness of my Tianpeng clan has been found by them. This is what King Jinpeng is most worried about. Would you like to activate our dark line in the Fox clan? The shadow asked after pondering. Okay, now the Fox clan is busy looking for people, but it can help them to act, and now it's time for them to play their role. King Jinpeng narrowed his eyes and said, let them get the favorable evidence and get there. At that time, the Fox clan will become public enemies in the demon realm. Yes, the shadow quickly disappeared in place again. After returning to their residence, both Lum Wen and Ye Qinghan received a message from the high-level officials of the demon domain and the sea at the same time. The domain master ordered us to hide in the demon domain to find out the news first, and try to persuade other demon clan to act if possible. Lum Wen took out the summons and read it again. Ye Qinghan said after reading the communication sent from the sea is similar, but let us pay more attention to the spies of the demon clan. After a while, another message came, and it was from Lum Wen. Lum Wen opened the communication and read it again with a solemn expression. Yan'er, what's wrong? Ming Xiu shook her hand and asked. Lan sent us a message. There has been a civil strife in the demon territory recently. Many demon races have made a big fuss about the spies in the extraterritorial battlefield, and the demon venerable seems to have disappeared. Lum Wen looked up at Jun Luokan and asked, the three saintess talked to the prince of the Fox clan that day, and the devil may have been poisoned by the queen of the Fox clan. Is it possible that something has happened to him now that he is missing? After all, Jun Luokan raised the current demon venerable. Even if he was deceived, he should always know something about demon venerable. With his deep scheming and behavior, I suspect he did it on purpose. Jun Luokan was silent for a moment and slowly spoke. There was a complex look in his eyes, both relieved and worried. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world. BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 883. Lum Wen caught the complicated color in Jun Luokan's eyes and sighed in his heart. No wonder he was pulled down from the position of demon venerable, and Jun Luokan's temperament is actually only suitable for the days of idle clouds and wild cranes. You mean that demon venerable knows about the conspiracy of the three saints and their tricks? Lum Wen raised her eyebrows and asked Jun Luokan. Judging from the dialogue between the three saints and the Fox Prince, it is obvious that the devil did not participate in this plan. His cultivation is unfathomable. Back then, I suspected that he was already close to being a half-step immortal. Now he should take a step forward. In addition to his cunning nature, I think he may not be able to discern the plans of the three saints. Jun Luokan paused and said, the biggest possibility is that he is lurking and wants to play the game of cat and mouse. Are you worried about him? Lum Wen asked affirmatively. Jun Luokan wanted to refute, but seeing the look in Lum Wen's eyes, he sighed and said, after all, he is the child I raised since childhood. Are you brothers with the same father and mother? Lum Wen was actually curious about the relationship between Jun Luokan and the current Mozu. No, we are half-brothers. Jun Luokan's eyes were a little blurred, and he fell into memory. I am the direct son of the father, and my mother is the queen. He is just the son of a concubine. His mother is not favored. He is often bullied in the magic palace. Although my mother died young, my father raised me as a prince. In an accident, I brought him, who had been bullied to death by another younger brother, back to his palace. He has been very obedient since he was a child, and he likes to act like a spoiled child. He is very fond of me, so I asked the emperor to keep him by my side and treat him like a son in the palm of my hand. Later, the emperor suffered an accident when he attacked Xianxia. He failed to resist the thunder, and his soul was annihilated. I was forced to inherit the position of demon venerable. During my reign, there were also several brothers who wanted to seize the throne. After I cleared them out one by one, the demon realm was quiet for 100 years. Unfortunately, I still misunderstood people's hearts. I never thought that the lamb raised since childhood was actually a ferocious wolf who could bite me when he turned around. Later, I went to a secret realm and was trapped for many years. I was seriously injured and returned to the demon realm. Who knew that the demon realm had actually changed hands at that time? While I was healing, his subordinates attacked me. There was a little more sadness on Jun Luoqin's face. When my body completely collapsed, he appeared and showed his true colors. I just realized that he had always thought in private that I was deliberately wanting to nurture him, and then I used the secret method to disperse the soul card and escape to death. He was only 6 years old when he brought the man back to his palace. The child read, cultivated, and grew up, including food, clothing, housing, and transportation. He personally arranged it. If he wanted to raise the person with disabilities, then why should he rescue him? Let that child fend for itself, and maybe die long ago. Immediately, there was a bit of sarcasm in his eyes, not necessarily. Maybe he didn't bring people up and raise them personally. With that person's cunning and ruthless, acting stupid and good-natured temperament, he might still be able to seize the throne and kill the monarch. Turning around, after so many years, he also figured out that that person is actually the most suitable for the position of demon venerable. You usually dote on him so much that you have handled everything for him, Lu Muan asked after thinking for a while. Well, I don't want to raise my beloved child with blood on his hands, so I never let him touch the dark side. Who knows, it would be self-defeating. Jun Luoqin laughed at himself. I guess there should be someone around him who is provoking the relationship between you and making him mistakenly think that you want to nurture him, and then he secretly cultivates to improve his strength, form a party for personal gain, and then take your place. Lu Muankin. It is conceivable that Jun Luoqin's favor made the child rebellious and resisted. Well, he has a few think tanks by his side, so he should be provoking the relationship between us a lot. Jun Luoqin relaxed and smiled lightly. It doesn't matter, if the relationship is really deep, how could he be caught without the slightest idea? People provoked. Do you still want to take revenge and seize the throne? Lu Muan found that Jun Luoqin seemed to take a lot of things lightly. Jun Luoqin raised his eyes and looked into the distance, and after a while, he slowly said, no, when is the time for retribution, not to mention that I don't actually like being a demon venerable. It was his belief that revenge was once his belief, and he wanted to regret watching the child who grew up with him. But ever since he was traveling with Lu Muan and a few others, he found that he was very relaxed, comfortable and happy. When sitting in the position of demon venerable back then, not only was he laborious, but he also had the heavy responsibility of revitalizing the demon race on his shoulders, and he was responsible for the hundreds of millions of people in the demon domain. Not only to improve the strength of the cultivation base, but also to manage many matters, he only deeply felt a tired word in those years. In fact, the hatred for that person has faded a lot over time. After all, it is his own education and love for the child who grew up. If he really wants to kill the other person, he may not be able to do it. Forget it, treat it as what you owe that person in the past life, and treat it as a stranger after repaying it in this life. Without that person's seizure of the throne, it would be impossible for him to know Lu Muan and the others, which made him realize that there are still many things to do in the world, and life doesn't have to be so boring and can be colorful. You really think about it. Lu Muan laughed and changed the conversation, but your temper is really not suitable for the position of demon venerable. Since you are freed unintentionally, there is no need to fall into hatred again. Jun Luoqin's brows of clear sorrow dissipated, and he said with a low smile, that's the reason. You are really kind, you can forget about such things. Nailange pouted, obviously disapproving of Jun Luoqin's choice. Jun Luoqin said pleasantly, it's not kindness, it's just tired. He used to live with hatred all the time, and felt very tired, but now that he sees it clearly, his mood has improved to a new level, and people live a lot happier and easier. As you like, Nailange didn't understand Jun Luoqin's relationship with that Mojun younger brother, so he wouldn't persuade him to take revenge. Lu Muan played with Mingxiu, pulled her finger, and asked, Mingxiu, what do you think we should do next? When Mingxiu was away, she could only work hard to find a way, but when he was around, she always relied on him habitually. And in these things, Mingxiu is indeed better than her. We can now have two choices. One is to go to other Demon King sites in the Demon Realm to persuade them, but they won't have a great chance of trusting us. After all, we are a human race. The other is that we temporarily leave the Demon Realm and go to the Demon Realm to find demons. Respect. Looking for the Demon Venerable? Why are you looking for him? Nailange asked inexplicably. If the demon race and the demon race unite and want to conquer the entire continent, then we have to break their plan and paralyze one of them. Demon race turmoil is the best choice, Mingxiu said with a smile. He will not let the demon clan and the demon clan collude to start a war. Before those careerists can start a war, they must strangle the danger in the bud. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world. BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 884. The two choices proposed by Mingxiu made everyone present ponder. I think the second option is better. Ye King Han spoke first. Lu Muan asked with a smile, why? The Fox clan has already waged wars against the demon realm before, and the interval is only a few decades. It is unlikely that we will convince other demon kings to believe it. And last time we went to the Fox clan's secret place to use the invisibility charm, so we didn't get any evidence of what they did in the secret place, and we said that there is no evidence. Maybe some demon kings think that we are provoking discord, and the gains outweigh the losses. Ye King Han paused and continued, according to Muan's analysis, the Fox clan will start a war in the demon realm again within 2 years, then we can wait for them to act before convincing the demon kings to unite and fight against it, which is more convincing. Force. The demon venerable is missing, and the demon domain is not necessarily under the control of the three saintess and others. Now that the factions are fighting, we can fish in troubled waters. Of course, it would be best if he could find the demon lord. He didn't participate in the plan. As long as he went back and shuffled the cards in the demon realm, the three saintess and others who wanted to collude with the demon race for 2 years had no choice but to stop the plan. Lu Mubai echoed, I think what Qing Han said is very reliable, and I agree with the second choice. I don't care, as long as it's not boring anyway. Nailange doesn't care about going to other places in the demon domain or going to the demon domain, anyway, he is a soy sauce. I think this option is feasible. Sujin thought for a while and said. Lu Muting also has no objection, just make your decision. Lanruoshui and Lanruolai are brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter, their purpose is just to follow Sujin and Lu Muan. Lu Muan didn't speak, and looked at Jun Luoqin, what do you think? Demon domain doesn't matter to them, but to Jun Luoqin, it's not the same. Jun Luoqin chuckled, okay. Although I've been away from the demon realm for many years, I'm still familiar with it, and I have some loyal servants left behind. Let's go to the demon realm first. In his heart, he let go of the grievances he once had, but after all, he raised the child once, so it would be nice to meet him before he became a stranger. There were some things that were too rushed back then and didn't have a chance to ask, and now it's time to stop. Okay, then let's go to the demon realm first. Lu Muan knew that Jun Luoqin was acting lightly and calmly. Even if he doesn't take revenge, he still needs a cause and effect to end it. When the knot of heart is untied, Jun Luoqin can break the shackles of the state of mind and break through to the realm of immortals. Mingxiu said with a smile, let's prepare for 1 or 2, and we'll set off tomorrow. It's better to avoid the Fox clan's search temporarily, they can be more fully prepared to fight back. Early the next morning, Lu Muan and others quietly left the Tianpeng clan. Qi didn't follow this time. Not only did he need to learn what the prince should know, but he also needed to stay and beware of the Fox clan. Once there was any movement in the demon domain, he wanted to pass it on to Yekinghan and the others as soon as possible. The distance between the demon realm and the demon realm is not close, but the cultivation of Mingxiu to the half-step Xianxia can bless Long Yao's body with Yuan Li, so the time spent on the journey has been shortened by more than half. This time, when I went to work in the demon domain, Sujin and the others and the pets all followed. The demon realm is the most chaotic of the four realms, and there is no need for a customs clearance token to reach the cities. Of course, Lum Wan and his party did not use their original appearance, but also used the respiration pill to copy several demons whose cultivation base was inconspicuous in the Earth origin realm. They did not stop in other cities and went directly to the magic capital. Like the Zhongzhou city in the human domain, the demon capital is the political and economic center of the demon domain. After entering the demon realm, the more you rush towards the demon capital, the stronger the yin evil spirit around you. Because of the special geographical location of the demon realm, the spiritual energy has long been infected with Xianxia, so the spiritual energy required for cultivation has also been called the magical energy. If people of other tribes with low cultivation base want to enter the magic capital, if there is no special means or magic weapon, then they will definitely be entangled by the magic energy and become stupid, or even die before they reach the magic capital. Lum Wan and his party were all cultivations in the fusion realm, and it was relatively easy to prevent the erosion of demonic energy. Jun Luokan's soul has entered the reshaped body. After he took a rebreathing pill to transform his appearance, the upper echelons of the demon race standing in front of him could not recognize him. Demons are the center of the demon realm, and entering the city also requires a city fee, 20 low-grade spirit stones per person. Of course, the demons living in the city can enter and leave freely without paying the spirit stone. After Mingxiu handed over the group's spiritual stones, they swaggered into the city. In the eyes of other demons, they were just passers-by with neither high nor low cultivation, and they did not attract the attention of any forces when they entered the city. "Let's find an inn to stay first," Mingxiu said. "It is good. The city built by the demons is different from the human domain in style, but the inns, restaurants, commercial streets, etc. are still similar." After a night's rest, the next day they did not rush to find out about Mo Jun, but went to hang out on the street. "There is actually a Zizalo here. Let's go in and sit." Lum Wan became interested when he saw the words Zizalo hanging on a high-rise building on Central Street. Sujin smiled and said, "The Su family is famous for spirit wine in the mainland, and there are not many high-level spirit wine masters in the demon domain and the demon domain, so 11 Zalo is stationed, and it is very popular. As for the Sea clan itself, there are many excellent spirit masters, so 11 Zalo is not very popular in the sea. We can visit Su's house after returning to the human realm," Lum Wan said with a meaningful smile. "Senior brother, go and have a good discussion with them on winemaking." Since Sujin's body recovered, the talent of the sommelier has also been revealed. Through his own efforts and Lum Wan's guidance in the extraterritorial battlefield, he has been promoted to a 9th rank senior sommelier. And now the most powerful ancestor of the Su family brewing spirit wine is only a 9th grade junior spirit wine master. Lum Wan asked Sujin to go to Su's house to discuss. In fact, it was a slap in the face. As for the Su family, especially the couple who gave up Sujin, Lum Wan couldn't swallow that sigh. It was bound to blind those people and regret it. Guangling World will hold a spirit wine event every 100 years. The time for this one will come soon. I believe that Brother Su will have the opportunity to discuss with the geniuses of the Su family. Mingxiu knew Lum Yuyan's small thoughts, if he agrees very much. The Su family deceived people too much, and as their relative, Sujin will always find this place back. Going to the Su family to discuss is just a slap in the face at the Su family, but to participate in such a grand event is to slap the face in public, so that the Su family can't come down on stage. The matter of the Su family and Sujin is not a big secret in Zhongzhou. When Sujin stepped on them in the mud, it would be good to make their intestines regret. Moreover, if Sujin shines in the Spirit Wine event, I believe that the Lan family will take the initiative to come to the house without going to the Lan family to propose a marriage. Okay, I have long wanted to learn about winemaking skills with the young talents of the Su family. It is naturally the best to have such an opportunity. Sujinking Jun's face was filled with a smile. Although he didn't care about the Su family or those people, he still couldn't calm down. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world, BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 885. The Zizalo in the demon city is very prosperous. There are many people in the demon race who love to drink. The private room needs a demon race with identity and status to get it. Lum Wan's group's identity as a demon at this time naturally could not determine the private room, so they chose a seat by the window to sit down. On the second floor, they ordered some dishes and 2 pots of 5-grade spirit wine, and listened to the discussions of the surrounding demons while drinking. Soon, the first and second floors of the hall in 11 Zalo and the private rooms on the third and fourth floors were filled with demons. The atmosphere in the demon race is enlightened and free, so many times he speaks without much scruples. Have you heard that the 3 saints severely injured the big saint? Some demons drank a little wine and began to whisper. Isn't the relationship between the 3 saints and the great saint not very good before? Why did they fight? I heard that it is because of a man who is jealous. For a man? Isn't the eldest saint's favorite the eldest prince of the royal family of the underworld? I heard that the man looks a lot like the first prince, and the 3 saints also liked it at the same time. In order to grab the man, they fought hard. In the end, the great saint was seriously injured and gave way in defeat. The man was killed by the 3 saints. It was taken. That man is really pitiful. If they were snatched by those 2 ruthless women, I was afraid that there would be no good fruit to eat, and I would be tortured both physically and mentally. Near the window, another table. The 3 saintesses' popularity in the demon palace in the last 10 years is really unparalleled, said a young demon race. Who let the house beside the demon venerable? A woman said sourly. A black-clothed man next to her immediately cast a cold eye. The trouble comes from the mouth, and now the 3 saintesses in the limelight. The elders of our Nile family have to give in a little bit. She wants to kill you like crushing an ant. The woman's face turned pale, and she lowered her head and said, Brother, I was wrong. Those are gossip. In fact, Demon Venerable has been in retreat for more than 10 years and does not ask about things in the demon palace. It was the 3 saintesses who took advantage of Demon Venerable's absence. There shouldn't be that kind of relationship between him and the 3 saintesses. Another older man spoke up. The affairs of the royal family have been handed over to the 3 saintesses faction since Mojun retreated. This is a bit strange, said one person in a low voice. Yeah. In the past, the 3 saintesses faction was not used by the Demon Venerable, so why did it do the opposite this time? The most important thing is that the demons have been retreating for more than 10 years. The continuous expansion of the 3 saintesses faction has become fainter than the royal family's limelight. With this development, in the future, the demons will be difficult to suppress. The Great Holy Maiden and the Holy Son Shen Mufeng have also been severely suppressed by the 3 Holy Maidens recently. Yes, I heard that Shenzi Shen Mufeng has gone to the cave dwelling in the outskirts of Yin Beast Mountain to retreat and give in directly. The great saint refused to accept it and wanted to fight back. Who knew that the 3 saints would beat her seriously under the guise of robbing a man? It's no longer a climate. Although Shen Mufeng's power has been suppressed, it hasn't moved to the root, but this time the great saint is really worth the loss. The Great Holy Maiden is usually not less powerful in the Devil's capital, robbing a man who looks similar to the first prince of the Nether Palace royal family. Her minions were chopped off by the 3 Holy Maidens, which is a contribution to the men of our Devil clan. Said a young man with a smile. The former great saint was catching male pets everywhere, and there was no distinction between commoners and disciples of aristocratic families. They could only be sent out of the magic capital to temporarily escape. This tone finally came out. Hey! Our Nile family was originally a trusted family of demon venerable. In recent years, it has been severely suppressed by the people of the Three Saintess. It has begun to be marginalized in major power decisions. I don't know how long Demon Venerable will be in retreat. The older man sighed. The black-clothed man frowned. These are the things that the elders of the clan should worry about. Although our demon clan's speech is relatively free and open-minded, the Three Saintess faction currently controls the overall situation of the entire demon capital. Things, save the seeds of trouble. The woman of the Three Saintess looks gentle and soft, and she is good at winning people's hearts, but she is actually narrow-minded and vicious and insidious. Hey! Forget it, if you talk too much, you'll be upset. The older man also considered the scruples of the man in black, raised his glass and said, "Come on, drink." A lot of things about the Three Saintess faction were also discussed at the Demon Clan wine table at other tables. Lum Wan and his party heard almost, and got up and went back to the inn. I heard a lot of news today, but what I think is most useful is what the Nile family boy said. After sitting down, Lum Wan took out a pot of freshly brewed spirit wine and poured a glass for each person. Nalan Ge took a sip and squinted his eyes as if enjoying it. This is called spirit wine, and the wine in 11 Zalo is simply too unpleasant to drink. Sujin smiled lightly. The spirit wine brewed by the Su family pays too much attention to pomp and circumstance, and they all use intensive training as a gimmick, but they ignore the taste that spirit wine should have. Yes, the taste of the 5-grade spirit wine is too bad. The taste of demons and demons is really strong. This kind of wine is not only drinkable, but also makes Zizalo popular. Nalanj pouted in disdain. Do you think everyone is just like you? It's good to drink some. The Demon Clan and the Demon Clan don't have high-level spirit sommeliers themselves. They also love spirit wine, so naturally they have to hold 11 Zalo. Lum Wan rolled his eyes at him. Immediately, there was a little more brilliance in her eyes, and she smiled at Sujin and said, "Brother, why don't you and your sister-in-law also go to a restaurant and grab 11 Zalo's business in Yeyu and Moyu? They brewed it. Spirit wine is so unpleasant to drink, it is simply tarnishing the profession of spirit wine master." Knowing that she was still hating the Su family, Sujin chuckled, "We can try after we finish our work in the demon realm and return to the human realm." He is also very disgusted with the Su family, and doesn't mind stepping on the foot after the slap. Otherwise, with the Su family's revenge temper, after the slap, he might come back for revenge. Lan Ruoshui rarely blushed and gave Lum Wan an angry look. "I'm not a sommelier. The most important thing is that neither she nor Sujin are married yet," and the sound of the sister-in-law made her blush. "You are a senior alchemist. You refine wine pills, my senior brother makes wine, and the husband and wife work together to cut the gold." Lum Wan winked at the two of them. Sujin smiled in a low voice, but did not argue, looking at Lan Ruoshui's eyes as gentle as water. The blush on Lan Ruoshui's face became more intense, which softened her originally cold temperament a lot. She raised her head and gave Lum Wan an angry look. "Now let's get down to business." She is also aware of the grievances between Sujin and the Su family. She agrees with Lum Wan and Sujin's actions, and feels a little more distressed for Sujin in her heart. "Okay, then let's get down to business now." Lum Wan saw Lan Ruo panicked and stopped teasing her. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world. BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 886. Lum Wan no longer focused on the Su family and the sommelier, and thought deeply about the news he heard in 11 Zalo before the meeting. What do you think of the news from those demons in Zizalo? She asked, looking at a few people. Nailange raised his eyebrows. Are you going to brainstorm ideas? It's none of your business, just play. Lu Muan rolled his eyes at him. The first time this fellow met, he was so cold and indifferent, how could he like to join in the fun now? Judging from the news we heard in Zizalo, the power of the three Saintess faction has grown so much that it has suppressed the other Saintesses and sons to the point of retreating and avoiding their edge. Ming Xiu continued to say with deep eyes, this kind of arrogance has not been successfully resisted by other factions, which means that they already have the strength to resist the rebellion against the royal family of the Demon Lord. They are now suppressing other factions without any scruples, and they have made it clear that they want to be kings by themselves. Ye King Han said, otherwise, the three saints would not be able to use a man as an excuse to beat the big saint seriously. Should we find the demon venerable first, or should we find a force to fight against the three saintess? Lu Mubai frowned slightly. We can secretly join forces with other demons suppressed by the three saints to fight together, and quietly search for the whereabouts of the demons in private. Meditation thought about giving a strategy. Lu Muan nodded, this is feasible. Then she turned to look at Jun Luokan and asked, what do you think of the current situation in Moyu? The situation should be similar to your analysis, but those suppressed families are not as simple as they seem. After all, the three saintesses foundation is too shallow. Now they look brave and fearless, but they are actually paper tigers, and they are not useful. After all, Jun Luokan has been a prince and a demon for many years, and he still knows a lot about the politics of the demon domain and the details of his family. Of course, we can't just despise them like this. After all, there may still be support from the demon clan or hidden forces behind them. He changed the subject and continued, I will contact the old department secretly first, and jointly fight against the three saintess. A series. By the way, the ancestor of the Niluo family in Zizalo was my father's subordinate back then, and his son and I also had a lifelong friendship. I will go to their family to explore the current situation of the royal family in the magic capital. He added another sentence. Can you find the trace of Demon Venerable? Lu Muan believed that since Demon Venerable was brought up by Jun Luokan, there must be some secret way to find him. Jun Luokan was silent for a moment before speaking leisurely, I'll give it a try, but I don't dare to make a deal. After all, we've been apart for too long, and he's always been on guard against me. Do you need us to follow you, or do you act alone? Lu Muan was seeking Jun Luokan's opinion. She believed in Jun Luokan, so she would let him choose to do things by himself, and would not want to interfere with him. I'll go by myself. Jun Luokan paused and said, it's better not to reveal your identities for the time being. Okay, then you go to contact the old department first, look for Demon Venerable, and let's find Shen Mufeng. Lu Muan tapped the table in front of him with his fingers. Lu Mubai asked in confusion, looking for Shen Mufeng? Doesn't Yanner have a grudge against him? My feud with him is not that big compared to the Great Saint and the Three Saints. Lu Muan smiled, there are no eternal enemies in this world, only eternal interests, especially for people like Shen Mufeng. Speaking of which, I don't believe that he was willing to be beaten by the three saints and breathless. What Yanner said is exactly what I thought. Ming Xiu added with a smile, Shen Mufeng has a lot of power and ambition in the magic capital. He will not be willing to be ordinary. And I guess, he might I will know the whereabouts of Demon Venerable, or know some news about why Demon Venerable disappeared before. Shen Mufeng's family should be my good younger brother, I can conclude that. Jun Luokan said. Lu Muan nodded, that's why the three saints deliberately suppressed him. It's just that he is smarter and knows to hide out of the city first. For the time being, he doesn't care about the things in the magic capital. I think he may be planning something in private. Do we still need to win over the great saint? Sujin thought for a while and said, she only loves the eldest brother of Mingxiu, is there a chance for us to take advantage of it? The great holy maiden's temperament cannot be changed after years of love, So don't contact her until it is absolutely necessary. Lum Wen had never been optimistic about the Great Holy Maiden from beginning to end. Compared with the scheming means, the 10 great saintess are not the opponents of the 3 saints. Also, many of the things she did in Tianling continent back then were to harm others and not herself. This woman is a little abnormal. Sujin only thought of the enmity between the great saint and the 3 saints before, but ignored the woman's perversion. Seeing that Lum Wen and Ming Xiu are so affectionate, that woman might not only not cooperate, but also drag them down. It's me who didn't think carefully, Sujin said apologetically. Lum Wen smiled indifferently. Senior brother is right, if Shen Mufeng can't get through there, we still have to take the line of the great saint. The great holy maiden and her had a lot of grudges in the heavenly spirit continent. She did not want to cooperate with the great holy maiden unless she had to, but instead wanted to eliminate future troubles forever. That's it, I'll contact the old department first, if there is any news for you to communicate. Jun Luokan stood up and continued, you go to visit Shen Mufeng and pass on any news to me, so I'm ready. I haven't seen those brothers and friends who used to share life and death with him for many years. After arriving in the magic capital, I feel eager to meet and reminisce. And he didn't care on the face, but in his heart he still wanted to find the child earlier. Well, let's go. Lum Wen waved to him. Jun Luokan said no more, turned around and disappeared in place. Aren't you afraid that he will be discovered by the loyal subordinates of the current demon venerable and will be in deep danger? After Jun Luokan left, Nailange asked Lum Wen with raised eyebrows. Lum Wen's expression did not change, and his whole body still exuded the brilliance of confidence. Although his temperament is not suitable for being a demon venerable, he is very capable. If he can't handle this situation, he is not Jun Luokan. When Jun Luokan took over the position of Demon Lord after the sudden death of the old Demon Lord, he wiped out all the brothers who wanted to rebel, and managed the demon domain very well. None of your people are fuel-efficient lamps, Nailange sighed. Lum Wen was too lazy to pay attention to him. Nailange was just panicking. I don't know if the news of Shen Mufeng in Yin Beast Mountain is true or not, let's touch it first and see. Lum Wen thought for a while and said. Okay, anyway, there is an invisibility talisman, so let's go and explore the Yin Beast Mountain first. Ming Xiu smiled. This time, because we are going to negotiate, there should not be too many people. Lum Wen and Ming Xiu went to Yin Beast Mountain alone. Ye Qinghan and the others stayed in Modu to continue inquiring about the news. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world. BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 887. The Yin Beast Mountain is located on the southeast side of the Demon City. It is surrounded by the deep Yin evil spirit all the year round. There are many Yin beasts naturally formed in the mountain, and the magic cultivator under the fusion environment cannot go deep at all. The Yin beasts in the mountains form a large-scale beast tide, and even the demon cultivator in the fusion realm will be trapped in it and will be in danger of life. In such a harsh environment, a palace was built in the deep abdomen of Yin Beast Mountain. Black and green mist surrounds the palace's perimeter, obscuring everything inside. Lum Wen and Ming Xiu were on their way in Long Yao's body space, and when they arrived at Yin Beast Mountain, Long Yao posted an invisibility amulet and rushed in directly. Along the way, I encountered many waves of Yin beasts, but none of them found any trace of them. The name of Yin Beast Mountain is really well deserved. The deeper you go, the higher the strength of the Yin Beast group, and the number is also very large. Lum Wen sighed while looking at the Yin beasts who were fighting not far away. If such a large-scale Yin beast is used on the battlefield, it can compete with the army of poisonous insects. The Yin beast is much more ferocious and sinister than the monster. Well, but there is a beast king who is very strong in Yin Beast Mountain. I heard that at least they are at the peak of Fusion Realm, and it is very likely that they are still half steps to the immortal cultivation base, so the demons in the magic capital do not dare to hit the Yin Beast Mountain. Come. After Ming Xiu entered the demon realm, Emperor Underworld sent the most secret news about the demon race one by one. That means Shen Mufeng is not simple, Lum Wan narrowed his eyes. According to the news, Shen Mufeng's cultivation base is only a fusion of the middle realm, but he dares to build a palace under the eyes of the Yin Beast King of the Yin Beast Mountain. It can be said to be a bold act. But if this is the case, how could he be forced to retreat into seclusion by the three saints? No, the palace built on Yin Beast Mountain should not belong to Shen Mufeng. She rolled her eyes and said. Ming Xiu smiled and took her into his arms, playing with her strands of blue silk, and said, the palace in Yin Beast Mountain should be the residence of the current demon venerable, and Shen Mufeng is just drenched. With Shen Mufeng's cultivation strength, it is simply whimsical to have a conversation with the Yin Beast King. The top powerhouses in the continent have their own pride, and they seldom get involved in mundane affairs. Then do you think it is possible for the demon venerable to be hiding in this palace? Lum Wan raised her head and asked. It's also possible, so we still have to be more careful when we go to Shen Mufeng. Meditation thought for a while and said, you should send a message to Jun Luokan. If you really find the trace of demon venerable, let him come over immediately. Okay, Lum Wan nodded and took out a specially made talisman to inspire him. Long Yao walked all the way to the depths, and when he reached the abdomen of the mountain, he was blocked by the black and green interlaced poisonous mist that appeared in front of him. Master, Mistress, I can't get through that foggy sea in front of me. Ming Xiu and Lum Wan drilled out of Long Yao's body space, and both of them had invisibility talismans attached to their bodies, and the surrounding yin beasts and the magic cultivators in the palace did not find them. The two walked side by side to the outskirts of the black and green misty sea and took out the array to observe around. This black sea of fog has a corrosive effect, and the green sea of fog is highly poisonous. If there is no means, even the sword master who integrates the cultivation of the heaven and the human realm may be poisoned to death and his whole body will rot. Lum Wan wrapped with spiritual power a trace of black and green gas sent a sound transmission to Ming Xiu after reading it. Ming Xiu pointed to the formation in his hand and said, the sea of black and green fog is a layer of defense, and there is a 10th grade formation guarding it. No wonder the forces of the three saints can't reach in. Then do we break in hard or find a way to enter quietly? Lum Wan frowned. Ming Xiu pursed his lips and pondered for a moment. If you want to find out, you should find a way to sneak in quietly. If we show up to attack, we will reveal our whereabouts. Okay, I'll find a way to enter the sea of black and green mist. You can break that 10th grade formation. Lum Wan chuckled. There has long been a tacit understanding between her and Ming Xiu, and what they are best at is cooperation. With Ming Xiu's accomplishments in the formation technique, and the fact that he is already a 10th grade senior formation mage, it is entirely possible to find a loophole in the formation technique and break through a gap and enter quietly. As for her, as long as she spends a little time, she can still prepare a liquid medicine to neutralize the poisonous poison in the sea of black and green mist and break in safely in a short period of time. Okay. Ming Xiu lowered his head and kissed Lum Wan's forehead. The two worked together, and Lum Wan returned to Long Yao's body space, and threw the poisonous mist from the sea of mist, which was wrapped with spiritual power, into the colorful glazed cauldron for refining. After roughly analyzing the ingredients of the poison, she took out some advanced spirit herbs to prepare medicinal liquid. Ming Xiu is constantly deducing the formation, using the field to penetrate into the weak points of the formation. Whether it was the sea of black and green highly poisonous fog, or the 10th grade formation, it was very troublesome, and the two of them completed their assigned tasks after a day. Lum Wan handed a bottle of red liquid to Ming Xiu and said, drink this. Then she took out another bottle of blue liquid and continued, spray this on the body. Ming Xiu took 2 bottles and did the same, as did Lum Wan. Mo Yan and Long Yao were temporarily given the bell space by Lum Wan. After spraying that layer of blue liquid, a layer of water vapor enveloped the outside of their bodies. As soon as the black and green misty sea touched the blue water vapor, it was blocked out, and the wisps of poisonous gas that were forced into it were also completely detoxified by the bottle of red liquid they took. Passing through the sea of black and green fog, Mingxiu made a few seals, the field penetrated into the formation, and the formation disk rotated for a few weeks. Soon, a gap just enough for the two people to pass through appeared out of thin air. As soon as the two entered, they quickly healed, which only caused very slight fluctuations in the formation. This fluctuation did not attract the attention of the demons in the palace. After all, there are often yin beasts inadvertently breaking into the formation and encountering the formation, and the fluctuations larger than this often occur. After the two passed through the formation, the true face of the palace appeared in front of them. At this time, in a hall in the palace, a man in black held a wine glass alone in a daze. His face changed a few times, from joy to sorrow to hatred for a while. He drank the wine in his hand, squinted his eyes, and the wine glass in his hand instantly turned into powder when he gently squeezed it with both hands. 3 Saints, you and I will never die. His eyes burst with deep hatred and resentment, and he let out a low roar. As soon as Mingxiu and Lum Weian sneaked into the hall, they saw Shen Mufeng's expression changing many times, and even heard his roar. The two looked at each other. Shen Mufeng really had a deep resentment against the 3 Saints, and it was funny. Compared to such deep resentment, the grudge between Lum Weian and Shen Mufeng was nothing. Long time no see, Shen Chenzi is living such an unsatisfactory life now. Lum Weian's voice suddenly sounded in the hall. Shen Mufeng fell into deep thought, and was shocked when he heard this clear female voice. He looked around, and the whole person was extremely vigilant. Who? My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world, BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant. Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 888. Shen Mufeng looked around vigilantly, but no matter how he searched, he couldn't find the other party, which made him feel cold behind his back. Who? Come out. He frowned and stared at the front, and his mental power swept back to prevent someone from attacking. Lum Weian, is that you? He kept reminiscing about the voice just now, and finally found a voice in his mind that he could talk to. But he also felt that Lum Weian couldn't come to Modu to find him. After all, the grudge between them was not a big deal, and it was his loss as the result. And he always felt that although that woman was brilliant in the battlefield outside the territory, it was impossible to quietly pass through the black and green poisonous fog and the 10th grade formation, but he still tried to ask. Shen Mufeng tentatively called out her name, but Lum Weian was not surprised. After looking at it almost, she and Mingxiu looked at each other and removed the invisibility charm on her body, revealing her figure. Shen Mufeng took a deep breath. He never expected that the woman who appeared here was really Lum Weian. I underestimate you. You can sneak into the palace of Yin Beast Mountain so silently. Your methods are incredible. Shen Mufeng looked at Lum Weian with a gloomy expression. When his eyes fell on Mingxiu, he couldn't help but be stunned, and said in shock, didn't you die in an extraterritorial battlefield? He also watched the big battle in the extraterritorial battlefield. With the power of the divine treasure, it was impossible for Mingxiu to escape. The most important thing was that Mingxiu's body collapsed in public, and it didn't seem like he was cheating. But now that the person was standing in front of him alive, he was only shocked except for the shock. Just get a chance to be resurrected. Mingxiu guessed the reason why Shen Mufeng was shocked. Shen Mufeng has been the holy son of the demons for many years, and he quickly restrained the expression in his eyes and face. He looked at the two of them lukewarmly and said, the two of you are really elegant, and you actually came to my palace as a guest like this. Since it's a guest, then Shen Dashenzi won't invite us to sit and have a drink. Lum Weian was too lazy to respond to his sarcasm, raised his eyebrows and looked at him with a smile that was not a smile. Seeing that the two of them didn't do anything to him, Shen Mufeng changed his mind and knew that the two were not here to take revenge, they should be looking for him for something, and the heart that he had been carrying was also relieved a lot. After all, With his current cultivation strength, Lum Wan and the two of them can come out at will and be able to crush them directly and effortlessly. Both of you, please. Shen Muofeng walked to the table in front and sat down, and pointed to the chair opposite. After Lum Wan and Ming Xiu sat down, she glanced at the spirit wine that Shen Muofeng placed on the table. She reached out and opened the bottle to smell it, and chuckled, "You can drink this kind of wine, your taste is getting lower and lower." The holy son of the demon race drank the spirit wine brewed by the 8-pin 11 Zaolo, which was really what he showed after being beaten down. Shen Muofeng hooked his lips and laughed at himself. "Why are you so picky when you can't save your life? Let's get drunk now if you have wine." "Let's have a drink." Lum Wan threw the spirit wine on the table aside, took out the 10-grade spirit wine he brewed and poured a glass to Shen Muofeng. "Come and taste the spirit wine I brewed." Shen Muofeng was not polite. He picked up the wine glass and smelled it first. There was a mellow aroma of wine. "I didn't expect that. You haven't seen each other for more than 20 years. Not only have you reached the realm of fusion between heaven and man, but you are also a 10th rank sommelier. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would have thought that I was just having a dream." Shen Muofeng sighed. Who would have thought that when she was in the Tianling continent, a little girl who was only a little eye-catching at most would soar into the sky so quickly? The world is unpredictable. Lum Wan smiled slightly and said nothing. "Tell me, why did you come to see me today?" Shen Muofeng looked at the two of them playfully and said, "Isn't it because you came here to find me to solve the grudges you had when you were in Tianling continent? Do you think it's worth our trip to Demon Realm for that little grievance, and worth our effort to break through the poison and the formation to come here to find you?" Lum Wan asked without answering. Shen Muofeng sneered, "It's really not worth it, but I really can't think of what value I have that you should pay attention to. Even if you want to pay attention now, you should pay attention to the three saints. Because you were severely suppressed by the three saintess, and she even wanted your life, and I and the three saintess are mortal enemies and have unsolvable grievances, so the enemy of the enemy is naturally a friend." Lum Wan also too lazy to go around in circles, straight to the point. After hearing her words, Shen Muofeng roughly guessed the purpose of her coming to him. He didn't answer the call immediately, but pondered for a moment in his heart. Don't forget that this is the demon territory. Now I was caught off guard by her. I had no choice but to hide here to save my life. Even if you have a good cultivation base, you are just a mayfly shaking the tree. It wasn't that he underestimated Lum Wan and he Ming Xiu, but the strength of the three saintess is much stronger than it has shown. If this were in the human realm, it would not be difficult to fight against the three saints by virtue of the identity of the cultivator and the relationship between Lum Wan, but this is the territory of the demons. If the human race wants to make a fortune here, it will be met by all the demons. Strong resistance. We dare to come to you with a plan, it depends on whether you dare to do it or not, Lum Wan said confidently. Shen Muofeng chuckled lightly, I've been forced to this point, why don't I dare? Let's hear it first. He has already been attacked by the three holy maidens, otherwise he would not have taken the risk to hide in this palace. But this palace is not his after all, he only has 3 years of residence, and if he goes out after 3 years, he will not be able to escape the pursuit of the three saints. Since Lum Wan is so confident, he can fight for himself. I want to ask you a question first. This question is very important to whether we can destroy the three saintess faction. I hope you can tell the truth, Lum Wan said with a smile on her face. Shen Muofeng lowered his eyes, hiding the look in his eyes from contemplation, but Lum Wan did not urge him. After a while, he raised his head and said slowly, ask. In fact, I already had some guesses in my heart, and I was thinking about whether to answer. Do you know the whereabouts of Demon Venerable? Lum Wan asked bluntly. Shen Muofeng hooked his lips, it really was the problem. Know a little, he nodded. Since he wanted to cooperate, he would show some sincerity to see if Lum Wan and the two could persuade him to impress him. They are just testing each other now. Is he winning now or is he dead? Lum Wan saw Shen Mufeng's calm face, and she changed her words, or is he poisoned? Shen Mufeng's calm eyes quickly passed the stormy sea, he frowned and looked at Lum Wan in disbelief and asked, how did you know that Demon Venerable was poisoned? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world, BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 889. After Shen Mufeng asked this sentence, he regretted it, and he really became 300 taels of silver in this place. Lum Wan is still as cunning as ever. You don't have to show a regretful expression. Since I know that Demon Venerable is poisoned, it is not to deceive you, but to receive the exact news. Lum Wan chuckled lightly. Shen Mufeng pursed her lips and asked, how did you find out about such a secret thing? Now the entire royal family of the demon city is basically controlled by the people of the three saintess. Lum Wan and the three saintess have a deep hatred, and it is impossible to find out such news from the demon city. I know it from the demon clan. Lum Wan wants to cooperate with Shen Mufeng, or wants to cooperate with the demon venerable behind Shen Mufeng, so he naturally needs to show sincerity. The shock in Shen Mufeng's eyes was even stronger. It seems that you really know some news. Of course, otherwise I wouldn't be able to take the risk and run to the demon realm. Lum Wan said. As a matter of course, the three saintess and the nine-tailed fox clan colluded to subvert the demon realm, and even attack the entire continent. Things, I believe you should also know something. It is impossible for us to see the human domain caught in the flames of war. Your goal shouldn't be mine, right? Shen Mufeng said with a sigh. He was now forced to hide in the Yin Beast Mountain by the three saintess. It wasn't that he had no strength to resist, but once he decided to fight back, he would be ready to be wiped out. Although Lum Wan and Ming Xiu were not young, they had a very important view of the overall situation. We want to meet Demon Venerable. Lum Wan said straight to the point. Shen Mufeng's expression was a little uncertain, and he said after a while, why should I help you connect? And since you know that Demon Venerable is poisoned, how can he come out to see you? I'm guessing that his poisoning just threw a bait for the three saints and others. How could the demon be easily calculated by the three saints if he could rebel against the previous demon and succeed? Lum Wan did not go around in circles. The scheming means of the three saints are good, but they are obviously not a rank compared to the current Demon Venerable. Jun Luokan is a very capable person, and his scheming is not bad. All this was defeated by the current Demon Venerable, which shows that the mind of Demon Venerable is simply beyond the reach of ordinary people. Unless the Demon Venerable did it on purpose, the three saintess couldn't have ascended the throne so easily. Hearing Lum Wan's words, Shen Mufeng was completely stunned. What did she say? This woman even knew the most secret information of the demon domain, and the fact that the villain seized the throne back then might not even be known to the high-level officials of other domains. In the past, before the Demon Venerable came to power, the news of the accidental death of the Demon Venerable when he entered the secret realm was made, and the arrangement was very good. Except for a few old people under the Demon Venerable, no one else knew the inside story. How did Lum Wan know about it? The most important thing is that she actually understood Mojun's temperament and behavior so clearly, which even the three saints and other people who have followed Mojun for many years have not done it. Do you have senior spies in Demon Domain? He asked tentatively. Apart from the news that the old man around Mojun would betray this kind of news, he really couldn't imagine how Lum Wan and the two found out. But he didn't believe that the brothers who were born and died around him would betray the Demon Venerable, so his heart was constantly ups and downs, and the stimulation was not small. No, my news comes from the previous Mojun Jun Luokan. Lum Wan gave Shen Mufeng another dumbfounded news. Shen Mufeng's face really froze. How is this possible? How could it be the previous Demon Venerable? Impossible, I watched the previous demon venerable fall away with my own eyes, Shen Muofeng said in disbelief. Lum Wen was about to speak when he suddenly heard a sound transmission. She hooked her lips and smiled and said, "Then you will know when you see him with your own eyes." Before Shen Muofeng returned to his senses, a handsome man appeared in the hall. Shen Muofeng stood up from the chair in shock when he saw the person coming, his lips trembling and he didn't know how to speak. Jun Luokan swept Shen Muofeng lightly and asked, "Where is he? I want to see him." This. Shen Muofeng's heart set off a storm, and he didn't know what to say for a while. After all his calculations, he never thought that the previous demon venerable was still alive. Is he here to take revenge? We are here to cooperate. Once the matter between Jun Luokan and Mo Jun can be put aside for now, you can rest assured to send news to Mo Jun. Lum Wen reassured Shen Muofeng. As for whether he will come or not, it is entirely up to him. Up to you. Shen Muofeng knew that Lum Wen, although he was cunning and dark-hearted, spoke with all his might. He secretly glanced at Jun Luokan, and then at Lum Wen, and found that the relationship between the two was not shallow, and he was no longer entangled in his heart. He remembered that he accidentally saw Mo Jun drinking in sorrow and stroking with a jade pendant in his hand. He saw that the jade pendant was a personal thing worn by the demon lord of the demon realm royal family. Although he hadn't seen who it belonged to, he also guessed that it might be the one who took office as demon venerable. "Okay, I'm going to deliver the news to demon venerable, you all sit here for a while." Shen Muofeng gritted his teeth. Lum Wen smiled and nodded, "We are waiting for your good news." Shen Muofeng did not delay, turned around and walked towards a secret room in the main hall, and used a special communication method to contact Demon Venerable. After Shen Muofeng left, Ming Xiu held Lum Wen's hand, and his eyes were full of doting. He leaned into Lum Wen's ear and said softly, "Yanner is a good strategy." Ever since she saw Shen Muofeng, Lum Wen has been in a dominant position and has been in a leading position to lure Shen Muofeng into her trap step by step. Straight to the point, one news after another exploded, and Shen Muofeng was caught off guard and lost his usual calm. Coupled with the sudden appearance of Jun Luokan, Shen Muofeng's rational string was completely disconnected, and he immediately agreed to send a message to Demon Venerable. Otherwise, with Shen Muofeng's cautious temperament, it is impossible to agree so quickly, and it is not certain whether it will happen in the end. Lum Wen let out a low laugh, kissed Ming Xiu's chin with a smile, and said, "I didn't learn this from you." In fact, she doesn't really like to play tricks, she prefers to use violence to control violence, but she has been with Ming Xiu for so many years, especially in the battlefield outside the territory, but she has learned a lot of conspiracy from him. So she doesn't mind using one or two if needed. Ming Xiu's happy laughter poured out from his lips, he bit Lum Wen's ear and said, "Yes, green is better than blue." The unscrupulous intimacy and ambiguity of the two made Jun Luokan's face darken instantly. "It's enough for the two of you. If you want to show your affection at night when no one is there, show it off. Don't try to irritate us lonely people." He couldn't help but rolled his eyes at the two of them. And the sour feeling in my heart was quickly suppressed. Lum Wen gave Ming Xiu a big kiss on the side of the cheek, and smiled at Jun Luokan and raised his eyebrows. "We will stimulate you, a loner. If you don't agree, find a beautiful woman to stimulate us. My evil imperial wife is too arrogant, trash against the world. BlackBelly evil wife is too arrogant." Author, Lan by Gezi. Chapter 890. The core area of the belly of Yin Beast Mountain is surrounded by deep miasma and yin evil all the year round. There was a cave in the depths of the miasma, and inside was a stern man in blue clothes. He looked confused, holding a jade pendant in both hands and rubbing it constantly. His eyes were soft as if he was caught in a memory. Suddenly, a specially made communication talisman flew into the cave. He peeled away from his memory, reached out and squeezed the communication talisman, and his brows wrinkled unconsciously. At this time, he hates being disturbed the most. If there is nothing very important, he must punish Shen Mufeng severely. He casually opened the communication talisman in his hand and browsed it, then stood up abruptly, with a look of excitement and anxiety on his face. Then, without hesitation, he turned around and prepared to leave the cave. Just after leaving the cave, a burly-looking man in black walked in. "Are you going out?" he looked at the man in Xingyi with a heavy voice. The man in Xingyi nodded. "I have to do it when it is urgent. You go to retreat, I will go first." After he finished speaking, he did not wait for the burly man to say more, and disappeared in the cave in a flash. The burly man in ink squinted his eyes and wiped the strangeness. It was the first time he had seen this man be so rude. What happened? But soon he put this concern aside and went into the cave to retreat. In the palace on the other side, Shen Mufeng delivered the news and did not return to the hall immediately, and recalled what happened just now. The more he recalled the conversation just now, the more frightened he became. He was a wise man. After thinking about the time from Lum Wan's appearance to the time he notified Mo Jun, he realized that he had fallen into that woman's language trap. From the very beginning, that woman had set a trap for him to drill, and it was still conspiracy. He really underestimated her. Soon, he received a message from Demon Venerable, and his expression changed immediately. Quickly got up and walked outside the palace to wait for the welcome. The three of Lum Wan sat in the hall chatting. "I don't know if Demon Venerable will come." Lum Wan shook the wine glass in his hand. "If Demon Venerable doesn't come, their next plans will be a little out of hand." Mingxiu held her hand and smiled. "I think he will come." No matter what kind of feelings and attitudes Mo Jun has towards Jun Luoqin now, he believes that the other party will not sit still when he hears the news that Jun Luoqin is alive. Jun Luoqin's face was calm, but Lum Wan found that his fingers were a little white, and his heart must be very complicated. "Come, drink." Lum Wan poured a glass of wine for each of them. Jun Luoqin held up the wine glass in a daze, took a sip after a while, then picked up the wine jug and poured a few more glasses to kill it. "You really spoiled my good wine by drinking like this." Lum Wan rolled his eyes at him. Jun Luoqin chuckled lightly. "Cow drink also tastes like cow drink. Speaking of which, when you see Demon Venerable, will you beat him first to relieve your anger?" Lum Wan asked curiously, blinking her eyes. Jun Luoqin said angrily, "Do you think I'm a child? I'm not as violent as you are." He couldn't do such a childish move. But he was really nervous about seeing the child. If the child sees him alive and still wants to put him to death, how should he deal with it? Mingxiu saw that the expression in Jun Luoqin's eyes was constantly changing, and finally replaced by worry. He opened his mouth and comforted, "If he is really bad for you, then let's work together to get rid of him." The purpose of their trip was to convince Demon Venerable to regain control of the Demon City and deal with the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. At least the Demon clan should no longer be involved in the Monster clan's affairs. But if Demon Venerable still wants to remove the hidden danger of Jun Luoqin, then they can only do it first. Jun Luoqin's position in Lum Wan's heart is not low, and he is also a friend who has died together, and they would rather go a long way than give up on him. Jun Luoqin's eyes got a bit warm. Okay. The old hatred still had so much emotion that he couldn't get rid of the child, but if the other party still wanted to kill him, then he would not be a woman's benevolence no matter how much his heart hurts. Just thinking that the child was still hating him and trying to kill him made his heart hurt badly. He closed his eyes and never realized that he had failed so badly, but that was the child he raised with his own hands. Boom. Suddenly, the door of the main hall was pushed open, and as soon as Lum Wan looked up, he saw Shen Mufeng hurried in, accompanied by a stern man in Xingyi with a restrained and deep temperament. The man in Xingyi froze the moment he saw Jun Luoqin, and his stern face showed a kind of heartfelt excitement. Jun Luoqin slowly opened his eyes with a feeling, and was stunned when he saw the familiar face. "Big brother." The man in Xingyi saw that Jun Luoqin's eyes were full of complicated colors, and his heart was sore that he quickly walked over to Jun Luoqin's lap and buried his head in the other's neck. Lu Muan and the others were stunned when they saw this scene. Is this the devil? No, why does he look like a coquettish bear child? Lu Muan's eyes widened when she saw Jun Luoqin, but she was obviously not surprised by such a move. It should have been done many times before. She really couldn't imagine how much Jun Luoqin once doted on this demon venerable, so that he was so accustomed to him that he seemed to have schizophrenia. She gave Ming Xiu and Shen Mufeng a look, and the three of them consciously left the hall to give up the space to the two brothers. After the three of them went out, they closed the door of the main hall by the way. Jun Luoqin felt that the front of his clothes was wet, and his body froze, then sighed and pushed the person away from his arms. Jun Luo, stop playing this trick on me. Once this child liked to get into his arms and act like a spoiled child when he was a child, but all that was because the other party deliberately got close to pave the way for his ambitions and made him relax his vigilance. Now that he came out again, his heart almost softened again. Jun Luo was suddenly pushed away by Jun Luoqin. He fell to the ground without dodging. With tears in his eyes, he raised his head and looked at Jun Luoqin stubbornly and aggrieved. It was as pitiful as it was, and Jun Luoqin couldn't help but remember that this child looked at him like this after being bullied when he was a child. He closed his eyes, opened them again, and restrained the memories and emotions in his eyes. You have already taken all my things, tell me, what do you want this time? Jun Luoqin's eyes were light, and his tone was alienated and self-deprecating. He couldn't think of anything else he could think of about this man. Jun Luo looked at Jun Luoqin's flat and alienated expression, and felt even more uncomfortable in her heart. Seeing that the other party was living well in front of him, he realized more deeply how wrong he had done. At this moment, nothing compares to this Jun Luoqin who is standing in front of him alive. Brother, I know I'm wrong, he pursed his lips aggrieved. This kind of expression has only been shown in front of Jun Luoqin since he was born. Once, as long as he did this, Jun Luoqin would put it down to coax him no matter how big the fire was.